wanna let everyone know that this meeting is being recorded. And I'll start off with introductions. My name is Brian Larochelle, I'm the chair.
Chris Perner, member.
Which I can't remember.
Tony Capola, member.
Before we get started, is there any public comments?
Just trying to learn more about the projects.
Okay, thank you. The first item on the agenda is minutes acceptance. So I'm gonna give the commission a couple minutes to get situated. There's a few minutes that we're gonna read through and hopefully vote to approve. One being the last meeting, and then August 20th, 2024, September 17th, 2024, and October 8th, 2024. Has everyone read it? Do you need a couple minutes?
I looked over this one too, so I'm good.
I'm all set.
I make a motion, we accept.
Second.
All of them, or
Yeah, don't,
let's
unless you wanna separate them.
well, let's separate out the last one. I wasn't here, so I'm gonna abstain from that
Oh,
one.
okay. So, April 1st.
Okay, so all in favor of approving the April 1st minutes?
Aye.
Abstentions? I'm abstain. I was not here. Thank you, Tony, for running that meeton last month.
Make a motion, we do the August 20th and what was the other one, September, hold on, we got October 8th.
Yeah, August 20th,
Oh, you were there for
September
Brian.
17th.
Brian, you were there for the 8th, your name's on there. Oh, no, you were here on
Yeah, I was.
September too, right?
Yeah, I was here on those old ones. I was just not from the last meeting, April 1st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So all in favor of approving the minutes?
I'll
from-
make a-
yeah.
make a motion to
All the ones
accept
from
it.
2024.
Second.
Okay, favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now that that's out of the way.
Minute.
Okay, so new business. The first item under new business is, for 5 notice of intents for culvert replacements. The applicant is the Hubbardson DPW. Before we jump into this, I'm gonna recuse myself from these. Well, I can recuse myself, I will recuse myself from the ones that abut DCR property. That's the easiest way to put it. I'm an employee of DCR, so I think it'd be a conflict of interest for me to kind of,
Okay.
participate in that. Now, I know that would be the Brigham Street.
Actually, I don't think Brigham is, cause it's on the other side of the bridge.
The pond's right there, though. The pond.
Oh, yeah, that's right, you got the
Yeah.
pond there.
Yeah, not on the upstream side is
Yeah.
is not DCR, but the pond, and
The
there's a
pond
little
is
bit
right.
next to the pool and stuff. Evergreen, yeah, Brigham Street and Evergreen are both DCR abutters to that. So I'm gonna recuse myself from those. I can participate in the other ones. But maybe just for consistency, since I'm gonna recuse myself from those, is there someone that can take over as chair just for all 5? Cause I feel like most of these can be talked about together.
Tony?
Tony's the man.
Well, all right. You say all 5.
Yeah, just because I'm gonna recuse myself from, 2 out of the 5. So just for consistency, if you could just
So if you could run
share
for that.
Well,
for all 5, and I'll participate in the ones that we can. So, I guess to start, we'd have to open this hearing.
okay, the problem is I don't have my glasses,
Okay.
so someone else should handle this.
So we wanna open
Yeah.
discussion? Okay. We can make a motion to do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion and then basically just read the heading there.
Okay. So the motion is made, is there a second? We have to do that? Okay. A second? All in favor? Aye?
I,
Okay, so public hearing is 5 notices of intent, read this right off, right? Of intent, a culvert replacement from the Hubbardston DPW. Notice is hereby given that the Town of Hubbardston Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, for 5 notices of intent submitted to the Conservation Commission by Travis Brown, who is the Director of the DPW and the Hubbardston DPW. The 5 notices of intent are for the following. Brigham Street is to repair an aging culvert to allow water to properly drain from the road to Brigham Pond. A Barry Road cutoff is a culvert replacement. Barry Road, a culvert replacement. Elm Street, a culvert replacement. Were they doing that
Yes.
on Elm
Definitely.
Street?
Yeah.
They've already
Okay.
started it, I
And,
think.
and then Evergreen Road, a culvert replacement. So, at this point, where do we go? I mean,
Travis is here.
Yeah, so.
Oh, beautiful,
It's on,
okay. So do we let him?
Yeah, let him talk.
Travis, you're on.
All right, as for the Elm Street culvert, is actually on Parsons Road. It's on the apron of Parsons Road.
oh, okay.
There was 2 on Elm Street that didn't need to, they're not near wetlands, so I didn't need to do that.
Right,
So anything within 100 feet of wetlands needs to have an intent, NOI. So
Okay.
that's why Elm Street really should say Parsons Road. It's the apron. It goes from the drainage ditch from our last one over to a resident's property, which I've already been in contact, had a great conversation with them, and all's good. All these culverts that are left, the 5, are waiting for engineering that unfortunately DEP took the blanket NOI away from Department of Public Works. So now we gotta go through this big rigmarole, which costs the town a lot of money. So right now, I'm in the process trying to get quotes from different firms to write up NOIs for these 5 replacement culverts. So I do not have, I believe, I gave a paper to Brian today that shows placement, what I'm doing, each culvert, and really all we're waiting for is the number from DEP, which is not gonna come until we get engineered plans sent to them for each culvert. I got one quote at $30,000 for this, and I'm hoping to find it for less. Honestly, a lot of these culverts we've done before with no issues using the correct, ways of doing them and barriers to save any water areas. So it's literally just waiting for engineered plans to appease DEP.
Travis, how long do you expect that to take to get these once you get a quote, how long do you think it's going to take them to get these engineered plans, and then so that you guys can do this? I mean, I'm sure that you were planning on doing them, and now you gotta sit and wait, I'm assuming.
Right, I mean, it's really hindering my paving project. Like before, I used to just come to COMCOM and show them what I was doing, they'd look at it, let me know what their input was, and that would be it. Now it's a lot of cost to the town. So I'm hoping to have it, if I can get, decent pricing from an engineering firm that actually gets back to me. I hopefully have them done within a month, and then maybe a little pushing with DEP, we could get them to hopefully approve them, showing it's gonna be replace with like kind. It's not anything out of the ordinary. Unfortunately, DEP likes to make sure that they follow stream crossing standards. So if they feel it should be bigger, which becomes now a box culvert or something like that, it's probably not gonna happen because we don't have finance for that. So I'm hoping that with plans from an engineering firm and showing that there's really no need for it. You know, I had pricings, I looked other options of slip lining them, keeping the existing there, not ripping up the road, and it would actually slip line it with plastic and actually have a lot of structure to it, a lot more than what's there, and it speeds up the water a little bit. It reduces the diameter because it has to slip into the existing, but again, DEP, you know, wasn't saying yay, it wasn't saying nay, but the way she was talking to me, it just looked like a big money game in the end. I had a quote on slip lining 3 of those culverts, actually one not even listed, for $28,000, all 3 of them. So I'm not happy about spending this extra money. So I'm doing my best not to. It's just taking some time.
I'm assuming there's nothing in the budget for this.
No. And unfortunately, my chapter 90, when I've already put my road plan in for this year, so they automatically take whatever I have for monies in there towards that. So it's not like I can just go, hey, can I borrow a few of that until July? You know. So I'm gonna see. Like I said, I've been on this. It's very frustrating, and just like I said, I've posted a few that we've done, the ones on Evergreen, showing you how bad they need to be repaired. You know, we've tried many times for that one on Brigham for a grant replacement. You know, and like 4 times we've tried, and they wouldn't do it. So it is frustrating. They still got to come up with the money for the culvert pipes. You know, so yeah, I'm hoping for the best.
Okay.
I'll have a little something to say about the NOIs on this. My reasoning for an NOI was because the roads are gonna be shut down. It's kinda nice if the neighbors and the town folk know that these roads are gonna be shut down for a day, 2 days, a number of days. That was more the reason for the request for the NOI. Just to clear that up.
I'm not upset with the conservation one NOI. It's not that.
Oh.
It's the DEP struggle here that I'm dealing with. That's very costly to the town. I get we don't want to hurt any wetlands, and we take very much precaution around them. But I mean, I don't know. We got a group of new people in there, I've heard. A lot of the older generation has left, so now we've got a lot of newcomers in there. And fortunately, I don't know how to say it. It's very difficult. I'm not the only one feeling it.
Travis, have they done this to all the towns? Pulled a
Every
blanket?
town.
Yeah.
Yeah, every town, but unfortunately, like Holden, your bigger towns, Holden, Winchendon, stuff like that, have their own engineers that can write this stuff up. They're already on the ticket, so it doesn't cost them anything. They're already paying their engineers. So you get these small towns like ours, and it's all very expensive. I couldn't believe it was as expensive as my first quote. I mean, $30,000. I was thinking, right, I could have sleeved 3 for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it just seems like there's always an excuse, and I'm always hearing it's gotta go by stream crossing standards, which is a state law. So hopefully with an engineering firm with reasonable pricing, we can get these to move along so we can finish this project for this year. This year, it just we're around a lot of water. In Hubbardston, yes, they do have a lot of wetlands in them, you know, in the town itself, but we just happen to be in an area where a lot is.
Yeah. Do we open up the floor to the public? Or
Yeah.
do you guys have a comment? Richard?
Not really.
Okay.
From what I'm gathering, you have to have, an engineer actually go through the plans. Is that what needs to be done in order to do that?
Yeah, draw up plans.
Apparently for each
Yes.
individual culvert.
Each individual one, yes.
Okay.
And I believe they want an engineer facility to do it that has like a conservation engineer that sort of knows wetlands and all that type of stuff. So it's not just an engineering firm, they have to have a specific engineer in their firm to do so.
LBAC does?
That's, yeah, I recommended some
LBAC, yeah.
engineers that might
And
be,
then,
yeah,
what's his
smaller
name,
size.
OCAM?
So can I ask a dumb
Julie.
question? Can you actually go to some of the larger towns and borrow their engineer at some sort of cost, or is that probably something you've thought of already?
Travis, did we ever hear back from Winchendon?
I talked with Patrick and he was very helpful, but he doesn't have that one piece that they would want to see on there. I know, like Holden has, I think, 3 or more of them, you know, so they do their own. I did kind of ask Pat, when I was talking to him, he did refer me to somebody, I left a message, did talk to them. They were supposed to get back to me, I haven't heard, I left an email, still haven't heard. I have it out to a few different ones, 4 at the moment, one I'm waiting to call me back on, so. I'm plugging away at a bunch of them, it's just, you know, that time of season too, and the effective call.
What's Julian's company?
Oh God, I can't think
OCAM?
of, but, what I'm thinking is, we usually use Bill Murray, I thought, in town.
Places?
Yeah, for the engineering.
Yeah, I can reach out to Bill Murray and connect him and Travis. I think they're rather expensive, but, I can certainly do that.
I called Princeton, because Princeton needed one, so I'm waiting on that engineering firm to contact me. Like I said, I called around the town. I called Templeton, I called and talked with him, that's how I got that one.
Julian's in OCAM. If you call Tom Lawson, Tom can give you Julian's number.
I can give you Julian's number, I
Oh, you
can't
got
do it now,
Julian's
but I
number?
got Julian's
Okay.
number.
Cause Julian could probably help you out. That guy can build a house on the pond. In the pond.
Almost.
I think Tony has my number, if you could just text me that.
All right, I do have your number, I can give you Julian's number.
Yeah.
I'll give you a call tomorrow morning.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Any, go
Thanks.
ahead. Do you have another question?
That's the one I'm
You
thinking
good?
of now.
Travis, this is Kevin Quinn from Mount Street.
How you doing?
Does this affect the work they're gonna do on the road? You have to have the culverts done first before you do the road, obviously, otherwise you have to rip them up again.
What was that again?
This will affect the road work that you're gonna do on Elm Street, cause you're gonna have to do the road over, if you do the road first, and then have to do the culverts after.
Well, Elm Street is not the problem, because I got those culverts replaced. I know we have it listed, that's why I had said right in the beginning, that the one that says Elm Street is actually Parsons on the apron. That drainage ditch that runs in front of your house and runs all the way down the road to Parsons,
Yeah.
goes to that culvert pipe. So, that's the one, it should have said Parsons, but it says Elm. The ones on Elm were well over 100 feet away from my wetland, so I didn't have to. I'm going basin to basin really anyway, so didn't have any issues there. So that road is actually done. unfortunately, Brigham at the bottom of the hill. I mean, other than that one, that whole road could be done. The Barry Road is just a 12-inch, right at the middle of the cutoff. And then you got Barry Road cutoff that has the other large one. So
And then Parsons.
it's really hindering 3 of the roads, 3 of the 5 roads that I'm trying to do. Actually, Evergreen Road, because they gave us some more money this year, I put it in, it was starting to really fall apart, so there's literally a 12-inch culvert down towards Old Princeton Road, that needs to be replaced. I've been in touch with DCR, we've always had a good rapport, the town and myself, with DCR, and I literally had them in the office the other day, and they just want something written up. They don't even need engineer plans. They just want to know what we're doing. That's it. So, DCR end of it, we're good. DEP, not so. So,
Okay.
I'm
Does that
hoping
answer your
this
question?
moves along.
I was just gonna say, I'm the guy on Barry Road cutoff, and I know from working at home during the pandemic that road gets used a lot. A lot of people turn around there. I think maybe because they're dropping off their kids and making a loop in order to go that way. So that it looks like a road that wouldn't be very busy, but I think it's broken down in that area, because I see a lot of people pulling up there. So that's probably why it's in the state it's in.
Okay. All right.
So, DEP, when I spoke to them, their recommendation was to continue the hearing until our next meeting. Hopefully, we'll have plans by then, and then we can, issue order of conditions.
Okay.
So,
I make a motion, we continue the meeting for
the hearing?
next month.
Yep. Second.
In favor?
All in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
I've recused myself.
That's right. I'm not used to that. I don't do that very often. Okay?
So we'll see you next month, hopefully, Travis.
Yes, I hope to have good news.
Right.
If you,
Thank you, Travis.
if you are able to get plans sooner, I mean, we'll have to do like a public notice, but we can
Yeah.
always do a special meeting.
Right.
Right. So,
Yeah, I'll let you know as
yeah,
soon as I
keep us in
have
the
them.
loop.
Thank you, Travis.
No, thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Talk
Thank
to you
you.
tomorrow morning.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
thank
coming in.
you.
Thank you for coming by.
But the road closures aren't bad because they had to close Elm Street and we were notified about that and
Yep.
it all went very smoothly. Yeah, when they did the.
We got the telephone call. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got the phone calls,
Yes.
got all the emails,
Yep.
our communication's been wonderful, so that's very helpful. We were getting our septic pumped and we asked the guys, can we let Machete in to pump us? Oh, yeah, we'll let him in, so it all worked out. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Good night.
Alrighty,
Thank
thanks.
Nice.
I noticed that, so the big drainage, then it's the creek that runs in front of my house, and I noticed that someone put in a pipe on the other side of the creek. Is that just to take some of the water off that's sort of piling up behind the wetland there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was done before.
Yeah.
That was because that pipe was broken.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a pipe
Yeah.
there. I just saw it appear like, oh, that's probably
Yeah,
hooked up to
that
that
was done
wetland.
before. That was done when I was in there.
You were in the trench.
Well, thanks a lot.
All right.
That was one of my last
Thank you very much.
hurrahs.
Sure.
Welcome anytime.
Thank you for
Take
coming
care.
in. You have a great night.
Yeah, same to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you back?
Yeah, I can take back over.
Oh, God, don't do that again.
This is the
Okay. So the next thing on the agenda is a request to use which property?
The Mount Jefferson, open space.
Yep.
What?
This is.
Bay State Riders, horses,
Oh,
next
horses.
month.
Okay,
It's
They do
kind
that
of a
every
yearly
year, right?
thing, yeah. We pretty much blanket okay it, just ask them to keep the cars off the lawns up there and so on and so forth, out of the hay fields. But they know all of that.
Yep, so it says explanation of use, post National Trails Day, equestrian trail riding. Do not need the parking area. Parking will be at Ray Sawyer's Field off Route Road. The ride is organized by Bay State Riders, a longtime use of our trails and major money contributor to maintenance. So, there's also a copy of liability insurance.
This is a yearly thing, Tony?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the other
Okay.
thing. I make a motion that we go
Second.
ahead and give them
All in favor?
their okay.
Aye.
And this needs just my signature.
Yeah. There's Mark Kreski's.
So next up is a site inspection, request for, it's Mark Kresge. He's actually come before us,
You
previously.
said you had a secretary.
Well, yes. But the end of Malone Road, the conservation area that's over there, they're doing a new trail that goes out to the, Dottie Rock overlook. And I did a site visit with Rick a while ago. Oh,
It's,
yeah, it's right here. December of 2023.
Rick
And,
Lane?
yeah, Rick,
Okay.
yeah.
That was a while ago.
It was a while ago. Basically, there's no wetland issues, but it is technically, we're the property managers for it. And I understand that they're looking to do a little bit extra tree clearing at the overlook. So just more so as property managers, he just wanted us to go out there. I think he had some specific questions about cutting for you guys. So we just need to pick a day to go out.
Let's pick a sunny one.
Yeah.
When's that?
Sounds like Mark is available most late afternoons.
Okay?
I guess I would prefer kind of a late afternoon after we get off work.
I don't know what time I get done anymore, so, cause I'm back to work, so.
Yeah.
I can go though if if you give me a heads up,
Yeah.
Doesn't interfere with happy hour. Should be able to make it.
I think the end of the week is.
Kind of Friday's gonna pour.
Yeah, it's supposed to
Oh, is it
rain.
been raining?
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, Friday's gonna rain.
Oh, supposed to be some good weather on Thursday,
Yeah,
yeah.
What
And
did
then
you
it's
say?
gonna rain again
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday.
I think
got-
Wednesday and Thursday.
I got dog shows outside on both days, so.
It's
I
like
know.
Sunday's probably gonna be a better day.
That's Mother's Day, though, you can't go on Mother's Day.
I mean, tomorrow or Thursday, would you wanna do either of those days?
Thursday would be better, cause we have, that's fine, whichever you prefer. I can make it happen.
Let's just do Thursday.
Done. What time?
4:30?
Outstanding. Up by Malone Road?
Yeah, the end of the road.
Yeah,
is
there's
the
like
parking area.
Yeah, I know what that is. Sure.
Yep.
Shoot me a text.
Okay, and I'll shoot you a text, I'll have to confirm tomorrow too.
Okay.
If I can make it, I'll go.
Okay. I'll include you in the text too. Tony, did you wanna go? It's a little bit of a walkout.
No, I'll skip this one.
Figured I'd check with you.
I know you didn't wanna leave me out, but I'll skip it.
Okay, the next item for new business, is a certificate of, compliance, for 3 Mount Jefferson Road.
I drafted up a certificate of compliance for them. He requested it because they were gonna close on the house. I called him and I've emailed him twice, the, lawyer who asked for the certificate, and I haven't gotten any responses from him, and they sold the house, it's closed, I entered the deed, so I don't know whether you wanna sign it or not, or just say, you've not
So-
responded to anything.
So this, it was.
Compliance for what they do?
So there was a notice of intent and order of conditions issued in 1986. So there was a lien on the house, and they were trying to sell the house, and that was when the lawyer reached out to get this, to close it out, but it sounds like the house is sold and they're not really looking for it, so
You wanna just,
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's not say we did.
Slide it under the table.
I mean, I can keep
I mean-
it in case it ever comes back up again, but
Yeah, I mean, you've reached out to them and they don't seem to want it anymore. I mean, we're certainly open to doing it if they're gonna be responsive.
I've tried, so. Cool.
So we'll just scratch that off. Okay, next up, under old business, is a RDA, for Christopher Environmental Associates to expand a small pond on Gardner Road. Welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen. It's good to see you again.
See you.
Yes, it is.
Is that scotch?
No, but, you know, listening to, your DPW director,
If it was.
Scotch would be good right now.
I could absolutely relate with everything that he is saying. It takes forever to get any engineering firm now. And the other point that he was making about DEP, they're all new. All the people that we always did business with, they all retired.
Retired.
Yeah, yeah. So, anyway, to give you gentlemen a quick review, we came before you in 2016 with the pond expansion project. We filed a notice of intent with that, and you granted us an order of conditions to go forward with that project. And in 2017, we came back with a request for a certificate of compliance, and we actually made the pond substantially smaller than what the commission had originally permitted for us. Since that time, the client's needs have changed, and whereas the small pond was adequate for her needs at that time, because she's got different dogs now, she is requesting expansion for the pond to a larger size. So essentially, what we're asking the commission to do is to provide a negative determination of applicability for us to go forward with the expansion of the pond back to its original size. You did receive some comments from DEP, from a person that I have not worked with before and not familiar with, but she certainly raised some valid points. We responded to the questions that she had in a letter to the commission, and hopefully that was adequate enough to move the project forward. I very much appreciate the fact that you guys came out there to look at it, because, you know, that's one of my show places. And, you know, I'm always happy to have people come out and look at it. And, you know, certainly if you have any comments or things that you would like to see us do over there, we'll be more than happy to comply. Given the amount of rain we've had, the last couple of days, I was out on the site, early yesterday morning, and, it was, I could say the entire site was in a saturated condition. There was sheet flow off of all of the vegetated and grassed areas into the drainage pipes and into the D basin. The smaller D basin was had not overtopped and was leaching slowly through the dam, the small dam. And the larger D basin that's got I think a 10 or 12 inch culvert the level in that deep basin had not risen at all. The wetland A, that had a small seep, that I pointed out to you gentlemen, not only was the seep working, but the wetland was overtopped and it was draining directly into the pond. The outflow of the pond was approximately twice as much volume as the day you observed it. And what was happening to that additional volume, it was going into a small pool about 30 feet away, filled up, went to another small pool, filled up, went to another small pool, and it headed basically in a northeast direction. So that's, and that ultimately was hopefully infiltrated. I went back there today, and the conditions were much more normal, much similar to what you gentlemen had observed on the day you did your site visit. So essentially, we're asking for a negative determination of applicability, and certainly if the commission is willing to grant that to us, they're welcome to visit us anytime. If there's some conditions that they would like to put on a negative determination, we're certainly open to that. I believe Commissioner Coppola had suggested that one of the conditions be no tree cutting beyond the existing tree line. And I'm not sure if it was Commissioner Chris, or I think it was Commissioner Chris, said something about making sure that the integrity of the detention basins remain the same. So that's what we would like to get a vote on the commission today. Relative to filing a full notice of intent, essentially, if the commission wants us to do that, I am going to basically regurgitate everything that I've already presented to the commission, and I will have to do 2 abutters lists, one for the town of Hubbardston, and an additional one for the town of Templeton, because a small portion of the property lays within Templeton, and quite frankly, you know, it's just a real pain in the butt to me. So that's where we are. Happy to answer any questions that you have.
My view of the project is I don't personally see a reason for an NOI there. I don't think that we're gonna be interfering, that project isn't gonna be interfering with any of your abutters in any way, and so that's just my outlook on it.
I just had a question, talking about the previous filing, which was an NOI, and what was approved, and what was constructed was smaller. What's now being proposed is larger than what was last time approved?
No.
It's the same?
No, it would be within the same footprint.
Just looking at the two, if I'm looking at the correct plan from before, like, I guess my thought was just the distance between that and the wetland to what is now being proposed,
Right.
nearly right up to.
We had, that was the other request that we had. The commission at the time, and Commissioner Coppola was present on the commission at that time, we stayed 25 feet away from the edge of wet. In order to fulfill my client's needs,
Yeah.
she is requesting that we get a little closer to the wetlands. So we've asked the commission to let us expand that 15 more feet, and we would stay 10 feet away from the edge of wet. In terms of mitigation, what I had suggested to the commission is on this south wetland, that this really be delineated, that 10-foot thing would be delineated with silt fence. I'm not worried about water going there, it's coming the other direction. And the mitigation that we have on this side would be silt and straw bottles. Okay. So essentially, this is a little different scale, different engineers, but the same firm. We're basically talking about the same footprint. And I don't know exactly what this layout is going to be. they'll have a dog trainer come up and do the layout, but, all I can tell you with some certainty is that it'll go that way, that way, that way, and that way. Or it will come back up this way a little bit too.
And again, my questioning here is, and you'd probably be the one that could answer it better, is the pond getting closer to the wetland? I mean, I just don't know.
Yep.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't see where it would interfere, but
Yeah.
I don't know if DEP or anybody has any regulations on that.
Well, actually, that's.
It's like a wetland to a wetland,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just one big one.
Yeah.
Right.
The water was flowing from the wetland
Yeah.
into the pond. And whether it does it through the seep in normal times of the year or when we have a storm event like we have, it's all going into the pond. Is it gonna make any difference? Honestly, in my opinion, no.
In my opinion, also is no, just don't know if there's any regulations, that's,
I don't
That's the
know,
only-
I
yeah.
don't know, I haven't
Okay.
heard of anything to that effect.
Well, you, you have a wetland bylaw, and I believe there is a 25-foot no-touch zone. But it is certainly within the commission's authority
yes.
to,
And we do, from time to time, depending on the reasoning, we extend the wetland, the distance.
Yeah, my question was just the comparison of what was approved before and what's being proposed now, and the shapes are different. It looks like what's being proposed is a little bit larger, but it sounds like this might not be the final form of it.
no, it won't. And again, you know, I would hope that the commission, based on our past performance here in the community, would rely on certainly my good judgment as to make sure that this property looks as good when we're done with it as it does right now.
Yeah, I'll say that looking at the pictures, I didn't see the site 20 years ago, but.
Would you
looking-
like to see it?
Well, I've seen the pictures and I think it's been improved.
I've got some original pictures from 2009, if you wanna look at them. Find them.
It was a bomb zone.
Did I? Ah. No, I don't have them. I thought I had them. Oh,
There was
wait a
some
minute.
photos in the appendix.
Wait a minute. No, I don't. Anyway, this was, oh, back in those days, this was probably, the most challenging project I ever had. The one that I had before this, we had a 4-acre wetland that was completely devastated, and we actually had, it was a red maple forested wetland, and they cut all the trees down and then they stumped it, and they stacked all the stumps up along the property boundary. DEP, and let's see, Mariel Stone was an analyst at that time. Now I believe she's in charge of the Worcester office. We had to actually take those stumps and build roads out in the middle of the wetland, replant the stumps, then take the roads out. That was the toughest one I ever had. This one, you know, wasn't so bad. You know, it was a lot of machine time with an excavator and bulldozer, stuff like that, but we were lucky that we had a source of paper fiber that we could manufacture topsoil with, and you know, even with those advantages, I mean, it still was extremely expensive.
Stumps are a problem, and it's hard to even get an answer on how many stumps you can lose on the property and where you can lose them. And in all the years that I've been involved, I haven't been able to get a firm answer from anybody. I mean,
Well, again, based on my experience, you know, both as someone who is representing clients and applicants, and also my own experience on commissioners, every town is different. And stumps, they're like one of the worst issues that contractors and developers have to deal with. And unless you have access to a company that can actually bring a tub grinder on site, you know, and that is not inexpensive.
No.
You know, that's, you're talking about $5,000 a day for a tub grinder.
No, but stumps, like you say, they're always a problem. They have been. I mean, I was a general contractor for years, and it was always a problem for me. You can lose so many of them on the property, but you have to be careful.
Well, fortunately for this particular site, there were no stumps, but we had a lot of rocks.
Yeah.
Some which are still visible.
Preston has rocks.
Especially that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough.
So thoughts?
Yeah, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I agree with those guys, with Tony.
I think if you stay within the parameters that were set before.
Well, pretty much so, except
Right.
Except
to
for the-
extend on the wetlands.
Towards the wetland,
Yeah,
but
towards
I
the
don't, I don't
wetlands.
see that, I
Yeah.
don't see that as a problem. The
It's
water's
really-
flowing from the wetland into the pond anyways.
Mhm.
If it's a few feet closer, I hardly see where it's gonna make any difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're gonna put silt fence between the wetland
Yeah.
and where you're gonna be digging and then take it out afterwards, so,
Absolutely.
I mean, that's
Right. And,
okay to me.
if, I'll be more than happy when we're done with this project, will probably be sometime next year, because we wanna do this in the fall. I'll come back to the commission with the photo documentation and let you see exactly what we've done. On a real positive note, the egg masses that I showed you guys a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
they've all hatched and on their merry way.
So it's sounding like we're trending towards a negative determination.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Do we wanna have any conditions attached to that?
Well,
I know we usually have like standard conditions, and
yeah,
like all of those
I think the
apply.
standard conditions in this case are more than good enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because again, it would be just the water from the wetland running into the pond, so that's gonna happen anyway, so. So I make a motion that, we give it the negative determination and let it go forward.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Thank you very much. We'll do a good job.
You guys
Thank
wanna,
you.
Now, you said you work for DCR?
I do.
Are you in the central region?
I work at the Wachusett Reservoir.
Yeah.
So,
So do you know, my colleague, Kelly Frieda?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know Kelly. Yeah, she's the regional director. She's the director of Wachusett and also Sudbury. Yep.
So she, when I was, on the commission in Lancaster, we were looking for a new agent, and we were having a hard time.
Yep.
And she called me one day and she said, we have an engineer that we have to fire, I want you to hire him. And I said, why do you want me to hire him if you're firing him? She said, well, he won't take the virus shot, the COVID shot, because of religious reasons. So anyway, we hired him. He no sooner accepted the job, a week later, he took a job in Northborough
Yeah.
at $20,000 more a year. We lost him.
Yeah. Yeah, I worked with him.
Oh, so you know the story.
Yep.
Good thing I wasn't telling tall tales. Do you need a copy of this, Leanne?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I will put it together and have it ready tomorrow if you wanna swing by and pick it up, or I
Here you go,
can
Rich.
mail it to you.
Okay, no, I'll swing by. What time is the office open?
8 AM, but I won't have it for 8 AM.
No.
7:30.
Probably like 10.
You're not gonna stay late tonight and do it?
I sure am not. I fully intend to go home and go to
Good
bed.
for you.
Well, as you guys know, I was on the commission of Lancaster for a long time.
Thank you.
And they just cut the agent's hours in half from 40 hours a week. And it took me years to get a full-time agent. And they hired a new agent, and they quit, and now they just hired the second or third agent. I mean, it's crazy, and it's almost impossible for small towns.
No money,
Yeah,
and you can't compete with the wages that other people can pay.
Thank you very much.
You just can't.
and the towns can't compete with the schools that serve them.
Thanks.
That's what's,
That's what
it really
it is.
is.
Schools are taking all the money.
Oh.
Well, we're very appreciative of Leanne.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Ever.
Even though you don't bake.
Well, I do, I just haven't brought you anything yet.
You don't bake?
I do bake. I've been a little bit busy.
The last secretary she used to bake every time we come into the meeting, and she'd have cookies. and-
Trish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trish.
I don't know where she finds the time.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yep,
All
thank
right,
you.
You have a good night.
Nice to meet you new commissioners. Tony, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
And thank you very much,
You're
Leanne.
welcome. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay,
Have a
next
good
item
evening.
up, old business. This is for two NOIs, Birches Road.
I've heard nothing.
Okay.
We're just gonna continue it again.
A motion to continue?
Didn't he say he was gonna have something this meeting?
Yeah.
Been hearing that.
I'll
I
reach out
haven't even been a
again.
member that
Yeah.
long, and even I've heard that one before.
At some point, we probably should scratch them.
I think we probably should.
I mean, not that we don't have the time, but it's just taking up time.
It is.
Can we?
Oh yeah.
Might as well
I mean,
give
so-
it another month.
so-
Yeah, I say we
So-
bring it up
Give 'em at
next,
least another month.
next meeting, and if we haven't heard something from them, then we just discontinue
Then they
it.
start over?
They
Yeah.
start over, and they have to pay the fee again. They have to do the new filing.
Yep.
That's
Great.
But I mean, they're not even
It's-
answering inquiries at this point, so I think we've gone far enough.
Okay.
so. Someone has a motion to continue it.
I'll make a motion to continue
Second.
it for 1 month till our next meeting.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Just to be clear, that's for both of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up under administrative, scanner proposal.
Yes, so Trish wrote up a proposal for all of you, for a scanner to scan, the plans into our online portal so that they're visible in public records. Most people are supplying an electronic version, but some aren't. And she wanted to split it between Concom, Planning Board, and Board of Health, since all three departments would utilize the scanner. So I included her proposal as well as the scanner that she picked out. You don't have to decide on it right now, but I wanted to present it to you. I believe Nancy presented it to the Board of Health, and I also presented it to the Planning Board, who pushed it off till next meeting.
Explain this to me a little bit more, cause I'm.
Yeah, so Places Associates originally donated a big like plotter and scanner to the town. It died and is not fixable. So we no longer have anything to scan in big plans
Okay.
from engineering companies onto the computer to distribute to board members or to put on our public records portal if they're not being electronically delivered to us to begin with. So her suggestion was to divvy up the costs between 3 boards instead of one board eating the cost of all of it, since it'll be utilized by all 3. So it comes out to, I think, like $881.67 per board.
Do we have money?
Yeah, I was just
Oh,
gonna say,
we've got a ton of money.
We are the only board that really has that
do.
money.
You didn't bring your checkbook?
I didn't know we had any money.
Basically,
Yeah, we got a bunch.
basically, I sued the, solar company.
The Jepson project.
On Williamsville Road?
Yeah.
On Williamsville
Williamsville
Road.
Road. Yeah.
And, I don't know, I think we got about $10,000
A lot,
from
yeah.
them. So, we have that in the kitty. I mean, that's.
So what else do we wanna buy?
That was the worst project
I remember
that I
that
have
job.
ever seen in my entire life. The years in construction, I've
Were you-
never seen
yeah.
anything so
Oh, you
bad.
weren't here?
no,
I just drove by it a lot.
yeah.
As a logger, I took some interest in the proceedings.
Oh, yeah, the cutting the trees on the neighbor's
I was supposed
property
to-
and
I was supposed
all
to
The
go
that.
bow
in-
wave of
I
mud
was
in
supposed to
front of
go
the
in there
center.
climbing to top a bunch of the trees, and that's all he was gonna do to get more light in. And then the next thing, and he told me, he goes, yeah, it's probably gonna be another week. I'm like, all right, I'll figure it out, let me know when it gets closer, and next thing you know, the skidders and everything else are there. I'm like, how the hell are they doing that?
Everything was, so we have the money. But that's why I think that's why I've always thought that we should start spending some of it before it disappears.
Okay, I have a question. Leanne, if we don't have something to scan in these plans now, how do you do it? If somebody gives you a paper, you just say, well, we can't do that because, you know, I'm gonna have my kid draw it with Crayola crayons? or
I
what?
asked them to please email me electronic copies,
I
and
see.
if they can't, then I asked for several copies of the plan, so I have them to distribute to you guys. One has to be kept, like for NOIs, one has to be kept with the town clerk for a certain amount of time, and then one in our records for a certain amount of time.
Do you think this is a good idea?
I think it will be well utilized by the town. I think the board that's gonna benefit most from it will probably be Board of Health, but I've certainly received plans where I'm like, well, it would be really nice not to have this box, like a like what reams of paper come in, of plans just sitting by my
Yeah.
desk.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it'd be a great idea.
Well, they should pay more.
okay. I mean, do you know, this is like not my area, this is like my
How much
wife's
they cost.
area. Well, the cost is irrelevant, we're in government. Is that a good scanner? Do you know anything about these things?
I don't. Trish did a bunch of research on it. We
see.
debated going between this one and one that scans slightly bigger plans. I think they were 36 inches and this is 24 inches. But we don't really see any plans that are bigger than 24, so we went with this because it costs like $5,000 less.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we actually just got one at work. It's an HP. Again, we had one that was wider, but we never really used it for wider. We got one that's 24, and I mean, I use it more for printing out plans, but we use it for scanning too. And this, I mean, seems like a big price for a printer, but it's a big printer. So.
Yeah, when I was in business, if I had something like that, I went to a firm in Worcester and had them
Yeah.
do them for me.
Right
but-
now, when we get them, we wait till we have a bunch and then we'll go to places and
Yeah,
use their
haven't done-
scanner.
Okay, that's what I used to have to do.
So this is gonna save the trip too, right? Just do it right
Yeah.
in-house?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
I'm on board.
I don't know if you need us to vote on it, or it sounds like it's kind of informal, but.
I think rather, I don't know if we need a vote, we can vote and then
well,
if
why
we
don't
don't.
we, I'd make a motion that,
Okay.
so we
Make a motion.
go ahead and,
I'd second.
get this
Okay.
scanner.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next up, under administrative, this was it came to us a couple of weeks ago, came to me.
I have it.
There was beaver issues at Cushman Pond over in Pinecrest, and the water was building up and causing an issue with their dam. So Board of Health and us, we signed an emergency permit to remove the beaver debris.
Oh, I thought remove the beaver, I guess. Wow.
Well, I think the Board of Health might have.
Really?
Yeah, I shut the
No,
camera off.
no.
Okay.
But I also shut the lights off, not realizing you didn't get it yet.
Don't worry about
So
it.
it's dark in there, but it is off.
Thank you.
Not to remove the beaver, I was wrong.
Okay.
But to put in a beaver deceiver,
Yeah.
the pipe with the.
Yeah.
Oh, with like the box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cage and the
Cage
pipe,
around
they
it.
sink in, so the
Yeah.
beaver can still like build up around it, but the water's still able to go.
A beaver deceiver.
Yeah.
Okay. I like
Yeah.
that.
So that was something that I signed on the 16th, April 16th. So I just wanted to bring it up and let you guys know.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, why are we doing that? That's Board of Health. I thought you were talking about.
Oh, it's cause it was in
Getting
the
rid of
pond.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
So we good?
Yeah, is there anything else?
Yes, one more thing, sorry. I got a site inspection request from Tyler McKinnon this morning. He's building an addition on 147 Worcester Road, and
That's 68, isn't it? What's?
Worcester Road.
Yeah,
Well, that's gone.
68, Route 68.
South
this
of,
side.
yeah, the south of town.
This side.
That one.
This
Yeah,
way.
that way.
They're building
Towards
an
Worcester.
addition, when
Towards
you
the
look
highway.
at the house to the right, but the whole front
Oh,
of their
I know where
property
that
is
is.
wetlands.
I know
And he
where that
didn't
is.
know if COMCOM needed to come out, he didn't know if he needed to file an NOI. And I said, well, if you're not building within 100 feet, you should be fine, and I don't think he is, but in order to get
That's right next.
vehicles and construction and stuff up there, he might be disturbing it, so I told him to fill it out. You guys could determine if you wanted to walk it or not, and then
That's right next to that new house that went in, the one home.
he hasn't paid or anything
Oh,
yet.
okay.
I know, $35. He told me he would.
No scanner now.
He just wants to do the right thing, and
Yep.
he's
Yeah.
confused.
Well, that sounds
Can-
like,
Can you pull it up on the map real
Yeah,
quick?
sure.
I'm not exactly sure what we're talking about.
Over next to the DCR land. Remember when LBAG came in with that big project, that next project
where are
that
you
they
on
wanted to do?
68,
Yeah,
down
yeah.
past the highway barn?
So, that's on the left side of him, and then the right, and then the newer house that they built was on the right side of this guy.
Okay.
He's right there.
Okay.
He was the first driveway off of this. 'Cause he used to be the only driveway off of there, and then they did the other jobs. And my buddy Demick.
Yeah, he's not my buddy. Wasn't he on this board?
I don't know.
No. What was his name?
Mark Dimick?
No, I think it was planning board.
Oh, how good for him.
Yeah, I think he was on there with Ernie. And those guys.
Ernie,
With Vinnie, Red Richie.
oh,
and
Vinnie
all
Ritchie,
that.
Vinnie Ritchie, yeah.
I think that's what it was.
No, it's just
So
a
this
wetland
is the
in front.
property, and the wetlands just kind of cover most of it. So I don't know
Yeah, is there
where the driveway is.
image? So does the driveway come in that little strip right next to the wetland from
I think so.
68?
I think it does.
It doesn't come in from the back or something, 'cause that's.
No, it doesn't come in from the back.
Cause that other.
Cause
that-
one of them came in,
The other lot,
came in from the back.
yeah, one of them that came in from the back.
From the back.
Yeah, but that one, their driveway comes in off of 68.
So it must be.
Actually, he might have two driveways there. His might do both. There's one of them that does two driveways. There's
Goes
one-
out to the back of where?
One that comes
That's,
out on, Helfrey,
Healthy
Yeah,
road.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I don't know if his does that.
But in either case, he's using his existing driveway.
Yeah.
And then the addition is on what side of the house?
So he said if you're looking at the house from the road, so Worcester Road is here, it's
Yeah.
on the right, so over here.
Oh, it's just not even really gonna be near the wetlands.
Yeah, it's the opposite side of the house.
Right.
in
It's
an
fine.
area that's existing lawn or already cut or cleared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what is he worried about, the driveway?
He was just told that he would need to come in front of Concom, and I told him, I'm not really sure, based on where the wetlands is and what you're looking to do, it would be up to Concom to
Well,
make
if
that.
there's wetlands on his property, then we're gonna look at it.
Yeah, which there are, right?
Even though they're on the other side,
Yeah,
you know.
So.
I think we should
What's
still.
what's the distance on there?
from the house to the wetlands, you mean?
Yeah, just as rough.
166 feet.
Yeah, I think
It's a
it's
long
good.
way.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
So the distance isn't gonna be a problem.
Right.
But normally if there's wetlands
On the property.
on the property,
Yeah.
we do take a look at it.
Right.
If he put in that, if he put this in, the worst, we take a quick look at it, and then all the bases are covered.
Covered, that's
And
exactly.
then there's no, you didn't go look at it type
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Cause sometimes you get surprised and you find out there's another little wetland on the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
side somewhere, so.
Um,
So somebody should take a look at it.
who wants to go?
We make a motion to,
Oh. Do you wanna just do it when we go meet Mark over at Malone Road?
sure, why not? How long is it gonna take? Good, Thursday,
Thursday.
I'm on.
Okay. Tony, did you wanna go?
No.
Getting a lot of those from Tony today.
He's done a couple of these before.
I'll give him a call tomorrow,
Okay.
and let him know Thursday around,
Let's say, we can probably be pretty quick over at Malone Road.
I think you could be there by a little after 5.
Yeah. Say 5:30.
you got it. Perfect. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, he was, cognizant enough to come in and fill it out.
Yeah.
Any building inspector, anything that has wetlands on it, he should know to send it to us anyways for us to do a walk.
Yeah.
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I know I could count on Tony. Aye.